All right, good morning. What we're going to do this morning is just go over a few things with the snow blowers. Snow blower season is here. To give the homeowners a few things to look before they start snow blowing, and in case you need to send it into a dealer to have it repaired. One of the things we're going to go over and we'll start with is fuel. When you're running your snow blower, high quality fuel is always the best thing to use. What we really suggest to people to use is a stabilizer in their fuel or a non-ethanol fuel that we sell and also other manufacturers sell. At the end of the season, you definitely want to make sure that it is treated, because if not, you will end up with carburetor issues. Some other things we want to look at just as a homeowner to figure out what needs to be done and make sure that your snow blower is ready to go. And we'll take the snow blower here that we have this morning, and I'm going to turn it around. And what you want to check for is you have your engagement levers for your auger and for your traction. And the one big thing you want to make sure is that your cables are adjusted properly. Some snow blowers will actually have rods going down. What you want to make sure that when your cables are adjusted properly, there's not heavy tension, or as you will see in this one, it just broke. That the tension was too tight and we had a wear on the eye. So this one will have to be repaired. So once you make the adjustments on those, you should have good traction and good auger movement. The other thing you want to check, of course, is always to make sure that your unit's serviced, your engine oil level is at the proper level, and also using the proper oil viscosity. Look at your owner's manuals. They will tell you what to use. All manufacturers are different, but make sure you use what they're recommending, because in cold weather, you do not want the oil too thick. Some other factors we want to look into and make sure is, and I'll pull it to the front here, and we're going to lift up on it, is you have a gearbox. We need to make sure the gearbox is either, if it's a greasable gearbox, that you put a couple pumps of grease in it, or make sure the oil level is good by pulling the side plug. Also want to make sure the grease fittings on your augers, if you have them, that they get greased before you start. And one of the biggest things is the shear pins. Each auger has a shear pin. They are designed to break if you catch something in this auger before it hits the blower housing to go out the chute. Do not use standard bolts. If you use standard bolts, you will damage the gearbox or the bell housing or the auger assembly, which becomes very expensive. The other part you want to take a look at is what we call our scraper edge. Our scraper edge is replaceable. You want to make sure that that scraper edge is not touching the ground. Rule of thumb is basically take a good cardboard box, if you have one, cut it out to fit the length of that scraper edge. You're going to lay it down on the ground, and then you're going to adjust your skid shoes to touch the ground. That will keep your cutting edge off. If you are actually doing a stone driveway or something very uneven, you want to raise it even higher so you're not digging in and busting up that cutting edge. Skid shoes, most manufacturers now, they are reversible. So when your bottom wears out on this side, you can flip them over and get another couple seasons out. That will help you make sure that you're getting the best possibility on your snow blow, that you're not digging the ground, you're not scratching anything up on the sidewalk, and not tearing up the blower housing. On the other type of snowblower that we have, and I'll bring one over now, is what we call a snow thrower. The snow thrower, pretty much the same thing. Make sure your fuel has additive in it and is treated properly, but it runs on a little different process. It is what we call a single stage. Has one engagement lever. Make sure that this engagement lever is adjusted properly with your springs tension. And the things you need to look for on your snow thrower is what we call the paddles. The paddles actually go down, grab the snow, and throw it up. Over time, your paddles will wear, because these paddles actually, when they are brand new, touch the ground. They will scrape the ground. Over time, in the seasons that you use it, those paddles will wear down. You will find that you're not cleaning the sidewalk as much. You're leaving a lot more material on the sidewalk. At that point, you need to look at these, and if that is the case, they're not adjustable. So what you have to do is basically replace your paddles. You want to make sure that all your chutes are in good shape. that there's no loose parts. And we recommend that every year that you get the unit serviced. Take it to a servicing dealer, as in us, or wherever you prefer. But it should be serviced every year. When we do our winter service specials for snow blowers, we look at all your belts, we look at your cutting edges, we look at the tires, your handles, all your engagement levers, and then we service the engine with the proper engine oil, spark plug. Snow blowers do not have air filters. We make sure your electric start works if you have an electric start ability. And then that way, when your season's ready to go and you get your first snowstorm, you know that you can go out, pull the unit, and it's ready to go. I thank you for your time, and if there's any questions, please feel free to call us at Finch.